This is coverage you can count on. WGAL News 8 at noon starts now.
Good afternoon. I'm Susan Shapiro. A shooting last night in Harrisburg left one man wounded. Police say the man was shot around 7:45 last night outside the Edison Village Apartments on South 18th Street. Police say the man suffered non-life-threatening injuries. A man is charged with attempted homicide in connection with the shooting last week in Harrisburg. Officers say 30-year-old Emmanuel Ramos shot his girlfriend Wednesday morning in the 17th row of Hall Manor. Police say the victim told officers they got into a fight and Ramos shot her and then dragged her outside. Court documents say police found Ramos against a tree and he told them he was the shooter. Investigators say Ramos also had a gunshot wound on the left side of his neck, but they have not said how that happened. A crash involving a state police SUV near Middletown, Dauphin County left 3 people seriously hurt. Troopers say on Sunday morning, a car crashed into the police SUV that was stopped on the left shoulder of the eastbound lanes of Route 283 with its emergency lights on. Troopers say 2 people in the car and a state trooper were taken to the hospital. It is Data Privacy Week, focusing on protecting your data online. News 8's Jake Reyes spoke to a cybersecurity expert in Camp Hill on how to protect yourself from scam emails.
Email scams are sometimes not so obvious and generic. Sometimes they're personalized for you, which could be a lot more dangerous. And I have Scott Davis joining me right now. He's the chairman of the Cybersecurity Association of Pennsylvania. Now, Scott, tell me a little bit about the types of emails we need to be watching out for and what we have here on the screen.
Yeah, so on the screen here, our hometown Eagles recently won. They're going to the Super Bowl. Utilizing ChatGPT, within seconds, I was able to come in, generate an email asking for a quick email of an opportunity to win tickets, and if you act fast, an exclusive field pass upgrade. The aspect of this that what I'm trying to do is get you to act fast. If you're a true Eagles fan, you're going to click this link when you get that email, and you're not going to think twice when you click. The problem is when you click that link, you're going to my site, giving me information that I'm going to ask, maybe a username and password, and then from there, I now have access into your accounts. You think you just entered for tickets, and I'll even show you, thanks for your entry, you have no idea you did something wrong, whereas I'm in the background downloading your stuff.
Yeah, so it seems like AI can really make things a lot more easier for hackers out there. But what kinds of data could you really lose to an email like this?
Well, think about what's in your email box. Now, from a business perspective, if it's an accounting person, I have financial data, routing information, client information. If you're working in healthcare, it could be patient information. It could be other medically protected data. Or if you're just a regular consumer, it could be pictures of grandkids, pictures of you. It could be videos. It could be your credit card information if you were trying to pay for something over email. So the data that's in your inbox is all at risk when you click one of these malicious links, provide that username and password, and I'm in.
All right, so there's a lot to watch out for. Thank you, Scott, so much. And I do have more cybersecurity tips posted on my Facebook page, so you can go and check that out right now. But for now, I'm Jake Reyes reporting in Camp Hill for WGAL News 8.
A Lancaster man was sentenced to prison for breaking into a woman's home in 2023 and trying to rape her. 33-year-old Mohammed Kamara pled guilty Friday to 2 counts of burglary, attempted rape, and aggravated assault. The district attorney says Kamara was out on parole for a previous burglary at the same home when he broke in, held his hand over the victim's mouth, and sexually assaulted her. Kamara was sentenced to 6.5 to 15 years in prison. He will have to register as a lifetime sex offender. The man accused of sexually assaulting a Gettysburg College student in 2013 and then fleeing to France waived his preliminary hearing this week. Ian Cleary was extradited earlier this month to the U.S. from France. He will be formally arraigned in March. He faces a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison and a $25,000 fine. Looking live from our Skycam network, some clouds in the sky today. There were some snow flurries in parts of the Susquehanna Valley earlier, but those have now tapered off. Meteorologist Mike Susko joins us now with more on the forecast.
Well, good afternoon, Susan, and good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, those snow showers that were in northern Pennsylvania are now beginning to taper off and come to an end here, which is good news. And as we look at Storm Team Live Radar Network, you'll see a little bit there up by Lewistown, but as we progress through, it is definitely moving out. You see those heavier bands of snow, some snow squall warnings even in parts of northern Pennsylvania today. But like I said, as it approached our area, it has tapered off. You're looking outside Lebanon. We still have the cloud cover, though, as that cold front moves on through. Temperatures 39 degrees. Those winds are now the west-northwest, and they are picking up to around 21 miles per hour, and that's giving us a wind chill of 29. And current air temperatures across the area are in the upper 30s and low 40s even right now, but we do have colder air coming in a little bit behind it. You can see temperatures will be dropping as we go throughout the afternoon here, especially towards 3-4 o'clock. We'll drop down to around the freezing mark as we go towards 9 o'clock, but all the precipitation, though, Susan, is out of here. We are tracking more rain, though, as we head towards the end of the week.
Community members in Dauphin County are calling for an investigation into allegations that a school teacher in the Central Dauphin School District called a student by a racial slur. The district says the teacher involved has resigned. Leaders from the Philadelphia chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations, along with the Harrisburg Palestine Coalition, gathered last night to demand action from the district. A Central Dauphin middle school teacher allegedly told a 7th grade student she, quote, doesn't negotiate with terrorists after the student, a Palestinian Lebanese American, asked to move seats January 16th during an after-school activity.
There is no investigation with this. It's evident. She admitted it when my wife confronted her, and we had witnesses. You know, the students were there. So, and she admitted to other teachers as well that she said it. The problem is, if you have an opinion and you're racist, just keep it to yourself. But to embellish on it and to loosely say it in front of the class, there's a major problem.
The Pennsylvania Human Relations Commission is holding a community meeting tonight at Dickinson College to provide a space for residents to talk about their experiences with bias and hate in the Carlisle area. Lancaster Country Day School is searching for a new head of school after its previous leader was ousted as a result of an AI child pornography scandal that got national attention. The private school posted a survey on its Facebook page over the weekend saying the Board of Trustees hired a consulting firm to help with the search. The survey asked for input from all members of the community. 2 former male students are charged with creating more than 300 AI-generated nude images of current and former girl students. The Lancaster County District Attorney said adults at the school were aware of the nude photos months earlier, but said they were under no obligation to notify law enforcement. A Pennsylvania state lawmaker is pushing for the overdose reversal drug Narcan to be available in public schools across the state. Representative Robert Freeman, a Democrat from Northampton County, says the bill would require Narcan to be on site in every public school. School nurses and teachers would be authorized to administer the spray to someone experiencing symptoms of an overdose or withdrawal.
Moving quickly, I'm Christopher Salas in Washington with President Donald Trump's latest executive order looking to make big changes to the Pentagon.
The return to North Gaza begins for Palestinians after more Israeli hostages are returned home. We'll be right back. President Trump says his administration is moving very fast, and he has no apologies. He addressed House Republicans in Florida last night about his agenda. Trump has used executive orders to rewrite social policy for the military and remove career government workers. Christopher Salas reports from our Washington bureau.
President Donald Trump signed an executive order Monday night that, among other things, could lead to a transgender ban in the military, roll back diversity programs, reinstate military members who refuse the COVID-19 vaccine, and develop a space-based missile defense system. President Donald Trump meeting with House Republicans at his Miami golf resort, charting their path forward.
We're forging a new political majority that's shattering and replacing Franklin Roosevelt's New Deal coalition.
That vision seeks to cut taxes, pass border security funding, and expand domestic oil production. But perhaps most pressing, passing a government spending bill by March 14th.
We are going to bring forward the America First agenda.
Even without Congress, the president has wasted no time.
We have no apologies, and we're moving forward very fast.
So far, he has taken more than 350 executive actions, the latest signed Monday night, including one that looks to scrub, quote, any vestiges of diversity, equity, and inclusion from the Defense Department. The president also firing Justice Department prosecutors who investigated him, and more than a dozen inspectors general or government agency watchdogs without proper due notice.
This is a chilling, potentially unlawful decision by the president. It's a reminder that if there's anything President Trump fears most, it's accountability.
And yesterday, the president got a key member of his cabinet confirmed. Scott Bessent is the new Treasury Secretary after a Senate vote. In Washington, I'm Christopher Salas, WGAL News 8.
The Senate will vote today on whether to confirm Sean Duffy as Secretary of Transportation. The White House Budget Office said in an internal memo it will freeze federal grants and loans. The pause could impact trillions of dollars in government spending and halt public programs that affect millions of Americans. It also blocks the issuance of new grants. The memo says the pause will not affect Social Security or Medicare benefits or assistance provided directly to individuals. The memo also says it will provide the administration time to review agency programs.
And just like the January 6th pardons, this decision is lawless, dangerous, destructive, cruel. It's illegal. It's unconstitutional. I spoke to my Attorney General this morning. She's head of the State Attorneys General Association. They're going to court right away on this horror.
Employees at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have been told to stop communication with the World Health Organization. The directive is in accordance with President Trump's January 20th executive order withdrawing the U.S. from the WHO. The U.S. is one of the organization's largest funders. Federal law requires a one-year notice before withdrawal support for the WHO. Trump's order claims legal notice was given during his first term in 2020 so that withdrawal can happen immediately. There is a concern that a lack of international coordination on public health could be dangerous. Dozens of businesses in Pittsburgh temporarily closed to protect people from raids by ICE. Gabriella DeLuca reports.
Over the last week, images like this have been seen across the country, ICE agents taking people into custody. This video is from NBC News. However, we confirmed the same thing happened in the Pittsburgh area over the weekend at restaurants and businesses. The Post-Gazette reports that Mayor Ed Gainey said while in Harrisburg today, his administration would not be working with ICE. Despite that, at least 4 businesses reported ICE was on their property. And at 2 of those businesses, ICE agents took employees into custody in the parking lot as they were headed into the building. 30 local businesses closed temporarily to protect their customers and employees from potential ICE raids. Allegheny County Council member at large Bethany Hallam told Channel 11 she's worried for Pittsburgh's immigrant community.
We are very concerned about what this means for our immigrant population, especially those folks who do not speak English well and maybe don't understand understand what is happening.
The raids come days after President Trump's inauguration and his promises to crack down on illegal immigration. According to NBC News, the DEA, FBI, and other federal agencies are involved in these operations, and ICE is calling the raids targeted enforcement operations, and that they are working through a list of people who have been convicted of crimes. But the border czar told NBC News they're making collateral arrests, and if undocumented immigrants are found with people ICE is targeting, they will also be taken into custody and processed for deportation.
Now the WGAL News 8 Storm Team forecast with meteorologist Mike Susko.
Well, good afternoon. Earlier today, especially northern Pennsylvania, we ended up seeing snow showers across the area, even a few snow squall warnings. Those pink polygons are seen. But as that front and snow showers approached our area, we did get a little bit in Mifflin-Juniata County, but notice how they have now tapered off. So as we look at Storm Team Live Radar Network for the entire area, again, you can see a few of those snow showers earlier today up by Lewistown, but they have now dissipated. Maybe a few flurries on the ridge tops there near Port Royal and 22 there on the highway, and also 522, but that's really it as we go through today. Now for the rest of the day, blustery, it'll be clouds and sun. Temperatures will be getting into the upper 30s and low 40s. Those wind gusts will be approaching around 30 miles per hour, so it's definitely going to be a blustery day. Tonight, partly cloudy and brisk. The winds do calm down a little bit. We'll get into the upper 20s for those overnight lows. And then as we head into tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a few snow showers once again, another windy day, gusts up to 30 miles per hour possible. Temperatures, though, a bit warmer. We'll get into the low to mid 40s as we go into your Wednesday. So you're looking outside Lancaster right now, and we got a mix of sun and clouds here as that cold front is pushing through the area as we speak. 39 degrees currently in Lancaster. Feels like 30 though. Those winds are beginning to increase, especially out of the west-northwest, and that's adding a bit of a chill to the air. So you're looking at the current air temperature. So this is what your car thermometer would actually be showing you. 39 in Lebanon as well as Harrisburg, 40 in Carlisle, Chambersburg, and Gettysburg. You're tied for the warm spot at 43. Those winds are sustained out of the northwest around 10 to 20 miles per hour. So this is the sustained winds. This is not the gusts. The gusts are going to be higher. But when you look at the wind chill as we go through the day today, it's going to stay right around freezing throughout the afternoon, and then it will drop down into the 20s, eventually getting down into the teens actually overnight tonight. So we do expect that wind to continue as we go through the next 12 hours. So here is the predictor. You got that cold front that's moving through right now. Behind it, the winds are going to be coming out of the northwest here. And then as we go into the rest of the day, though, it is quiet. As we head into your Wednesday morning, we'll have some more cloud covers coming through, and then another cold front comes in from the northwest. This one will be moving through a little bit slower than what we had today, so we expect this one to move through around noontime tomorrow, and behind it we could see a few of those scattered snow showers here. Again, very isolated, not really expecting much with that as it comes on through, and then as we head into Thursday, things get a little bit better. So your weather headlines will be blustery conditions this afternoon, and then a few snow showers on your Wednesday before we end up having a pick of the week Thursday. Thursday's definitely going to be the pick of the week here, because as we go into Friday, that's our next chance for rain. You're looking at the long range predictor. We could start with a little bit of a mix in the higher elevations, quickly switches over to rain, and you can see Friday looks like a pretty soggy day here, and we show that in the 10-day forecast. So it's going to be 40 degrees today, 44 tomorrow. Like I said, the pick of the week is going to be on Thursday. More rain moves in on Friday, and then with Saturday as we welcome in February, a few morning showers with temperatures in the 30s.
New at noon, the crisis in the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo is reportedly increasing. Civilians in the DRC are fleeing the key city of Goma after M23 rebels backed by Rwanda captured the city. Videos posted on social media show protests and fires set earlier today near several embassies in the capital city of Kinshasa. A government minister said order has since been restored there. UN officials are calling for action following peacekeeping and civilian deaths in the violence in the DRC. The government media office in Gaza confirms more than 300,000 Palestinians are returning to the northern Gaza Strip after Israel reopened the Netzarim corridor. The reopening of the corridor, which divides North and South Gaza, was delayed after a dispute between Israel and Hamas over the release of a female hostage. After reaching a deal, Israel agreed to proceed with permitting travel to the north.